Good Sunday morning. I'm NBC Connecticut Storm Tracker meteorologist Alexis Clemens here on your first day of winter. Officially, we are in the season now. It's 10:25 in the morning. We just got done with all of our morning shows. So we thought we'd pop on here just to give you an update on what we're tracking, a chance for snow on Tuesday. So we're going to go ahead and get right on into it here. So I go ahead and throw all of this up here. Perfect. And you can follow us on all the platforms. We, of course, appreciate it. And, of course, ask any questions in the comments. We would be happy to answer them. So our next snow chance. Snow's going to develop Tuesday morning. At this point, it looks like between about 6 and 9 a.m. I'm thinking the worst impacts are going to be felt during the midday and afternoon hours. So that seems to be what we're tracking here. So you might have a chance to, a lot of people have been asking, like, we're planning on heading out for the holidays on Tuesday. When's a good time to leave? And I can say right now, if you can on Monday, that's your best bet. But Tuesday morning, early in the morning, before the snow really starts up, you might have a chance to squeeze in some travel. Otherwise, midday, afternoon hours on Tuesday look to be a little dicey. So 1 to 3 inches is going to be possible for much of the state. It's not a huge system, but it's enough to, and I think it's a wet, heavier snow this time around for Tuesday. And we're also tracking lesser totals at the shoreline because they're going to likely see a change to rain at some point Tuesday afternoon. And the precipitation should come to an end Tuesday evening by about 10 o'clock. So that is the latest here. I also want to go ahead and show you our official snowfall forecast. And of course, this is subject to change if we see any changes in the forecast. But right now, I would say the totals look, there's a very good consensus of totals across all of the model data. It's the timing that I'm still a little bit up in the air about. So that's where we're not seeing as much consensus, but the totals itself does looks pretty good. So 1 to 3 inches across the majority of the state here. And I think the best chance to see 3 inches is going to be in the higher elevations, those hill towns in the Northwest Hills, the Northeast Hills there. That's your best chance to see 3 inches of snow. But you'll notice that the shoreline, especially east of New Haven, maybe just more of a dusting, a coating, if you will. But no matter where you are, it's going to be slushy out there. We do expect travel impacts for Tuesday, especially in the midday and afternoon hours. I wanted to show you this graphic as well that I just updated. We didn't even show it in the shows this morning. And I think this does a really good job of showing the uncertainty of exactly that rain-snow mix at the shoreline. So if you're in the higher elevations, like we talked about there, a very, very high likelihood of snow greater than an inch. Like I said, 1 to 3 inches looks very, very likely for much of the state, an 80-90% chance for much of the state here in Connecticut to see 1 to 3 inches of snow, but it's closer to the shoreline, especially southeastern Connecticut, where, as I have that 30% over, what is that, Stonington, Mystic there, New London, Groton. There's just a lot of questions still on if that rain mix is on in, but I can tell you right now, it does look like more of a slushy mess as we go through your Tuesday. So let's go ahead and take a look at one specific graphic or model, I should say, of what Tuesday is going to look like. So we're going to see those clouds increase through through Monday night. And then again, the question is, how early does this snow want to move on in? And I'm thinking it's going to be between about 6 and 9 a.m. where it really starts coming up. Like you might see a couple of flurries before then, but it's between 6 and 9 a.m. that we start to see that more steady snow move on in and fall across the region here. But again, if the biggest uncertainties with this system is the timing still. This system hasn't even formed yet. So there's still a lot of questions there, but I would say the totals that looks pretty promising right now. Of course, that is. The timing, though, could change. So I would just continue to check back in later on today and through Monday. We'll have those updates for you. So like I said, I think the snow really picks up between about 6 and 9 a.m. I think midday and afternoon hours right now look to be the highest impacts from this system, and just kind of on and off little snow showers here that accumulates. But take a look at that pink, especially down in the southeastern part of the state. So we're just going to have to watch how far north that rain snow line wants to move in, because that would definitely impact totals. We'd see lesser totals at the shoreline, especially the southeastern shore. So that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on. And then this system kicks on out of here by about 10 p.m. So I think this model specifically does a really good job of showing what we're expecting here. And then looking ahead to Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, those look great as well. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s with a good amount of sunshine, calmer winds then as well. So again, showing you that snowfall forecast. This is the thinking right now. So 1 to 3 inches of that snow for much of the state, lesser totals at the shoreline with some rain mixes on in. So we did a fun social media video about this earlier on what you think constitutes a white Christmas, right? Because for me, I'm like, I've got to have some snow falling on the ground. There's got to be a good amount of it out there, right? But the official definition that we use for meteorological purposes, it's just to, keep a nice concise record here. The official definition is 1 inch of snow on the ground that is recorded on the ground. Does not have to be snowing, but on the ground on the morning of Christmas Day. I would assume at 7 a.m. because that's when they always take the official observations, right? So let me know what you think an official white Christmas is, because I think there's got to be some snow falling during the day, but according to this definition, there just has to be some snow on the ground. And because of that, with that specific definition, the last white Christmas in Hartford was actually in 2021. We had 2 inches of snow on the ground. For Bridgeport, you had to go all the way back to 2009 when there was 5 inches of snow on the ground. I believe that was right after the blizzard of 2009, if I have that record keeping correctly. So that's what we're watching for you on Tuesday. And the question is, though, all the snow that we're going to be tracking as we go through Tuesday, will it stay on the ground or is it going to melt? Here's a look at your Wednesday and Thursday forecast once it populates for us. I think upper 30s to low 40s for high temperatures on both Wednesday and Thursday. We've got partly sunny skies on Christmas Eve, mostly cloudy skies on Christmas Day. So the question is, how warm do we get on Wednesday, and are we going to see some melting? So I think we're going to be right on the line for a white Christmas, or that official definition for you there. So this is not a big system for us by any means, but of course, this is going to be a big travel day, I believe, on Tuesday, right before Christmas Eve. So just make sure that you're staying safe if you do have to travel on Thursday. Right now, of course, continue to check in, but right now, I would say as early as you can on Tuesday, I would travel. And then if you can, of course, move it to Monday, that would be good as well. But give yourself plenty of extra room around you and the cars around you, and give yourself plenty of extra time and patience to get to where you're going. So yeah, that's the latest look at the snow chances that we've got for Tuesday. I also wanted to talk about how it is officially winter. Actually, so this is very interesting. I don't know if you knew this, but there not only is there a first day of winter, but there's an exact time when we transition into winter. That's actually, it was at 10:03 a.m., 30 minutes ago now. And that exact moment is just the exact moment when the sun angle is the furthest away from the northern hemisphere. It's shining directly over the southern hemisphere. So now it's slowly going to make its way back towards us. So we'll continue to gain daylight. Yay. Because today is the shortest day of the year. That sunrise is at 7:14 this morning. The sunset is at 4:23 p.m. We are officially in winter, even though the first half of December, excluding what happened on Friday, the first half of December has been very chilly. So it's felt like winter. It's looked like winter, but then Friday's Grinch storm kind of got rid of all of that snow on the ground. So we're looking to maybe add a little bit more. I know the ski resorts would really like that. But today is the first day of winter, shortest day of the year. It's about 9 hours and roughly 8 minutes of daylight. So here's a fun graphic that I enjoyed making this morning. We're going to continue to gain daylight now as we go through the next several months. In 1 month, we'll have gained about a half an hour of daylight. In 2 months, almost 2 hours. And then in 3 months, if you're not a winter person, 3 months from today is the first day of spring. So that countdown has officially kicked off. 89 days from now, which is in 3 months, is the first day of spring. And by then, we'll have gone back into daylight saving time. We'll have gained 3 hours of daylight there. Even the 5 p.m. sunset in 2 months sounds really nice, but that 7 p.m. sunset is going to be nice in 3 months. But let's not rush time. Let's enjoy winter, because I think New England really thrives in their element here. So let's talk about and since of course it's a big travel weekend across the region, let's talk about some travel today and tomorrow as well. So we'll go ahead and show you what's going on here. High temperatures are going to be in the 40s. Actually, it's a little bit breezy though as we continue through the rest of your Sunday. Today is Sunday. Temperatures, so it's showing that highs are going to be in the 40s, but you'll notice in parts of Buffalo, Syracuse, Burlington, Vermont there, but New York, temperatures are in the 20s today. That's actually a weak cold front that's moving on through the region. It's providing a couple of snow showers up in northern New England and parts of New York. We can even show that to you right now. So this is a look at live Doppler radar. So we talked about Tuesday. Now we're going back to what's happening right now. And you can see some of that snow. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that. So it does look like some snow showers are definitely coming down in parts of New York from Binghamton up towards Albany right now. They don't look super impressive, but it's definitely along a cold front that is cooling things down. So I do not expect that to make its way into Connecticut. If anything, the hill towns in the northwestern part of the state could see a couple of flurries flying about today, but that's it. It's just a cold front that is cooling us down. And you can see those winds are going to be a factor today. So this is for your Sunday. Remember, of course, Friday was extremely windy. Now, nothing like that. That's good news there. But that wind gust will be up to roughly about 35 miles an hour or so. You can see that in Albany, a 38 mile per hour wind gust right now. In Connecticut, we're expecting kind of similar conditions today. So that is going to cool things down a little bit as we go into tomorrow. So I want to go ahead and show, let's go ahead and grab one more graphic for us here. Let's find it. But temperatures are actually going to fall a little bit as we go through the day. So showing you Connecticut here as it pops up. We're just kind of watching, that wind gust as we go through the rest of the day into tonight. Winds gusting up to about 30 miles an hour, maybe some isolated higher gusts in those higher elevations, especially in the northwestern part of the state there. But I would say primarily 30 to 35 miles an hour for wind gusts there. And then we'll see that wind calm down by tomorrow afternoon. So that leads us with a wind chill that we're going to be talking about for Monday morning. So be prepared. I don't know if a lot of people are off this week or if they still have a couple more days left of work. But here, once we get this loading up here, here's a look at how tomorrow morning is going to feel, because I do think Monday morning starts off on the chilly side here as we show you your feels like temperatures over the next few hours. It dips into the 20s this evening and then the teens tomorrow morning. I think that some of us will start Monday in the single digits, so just be mentally prepared for that. If you are wherever you're heading tomorrow morning, it's going to be a little bit chilly. We'll see that feels like temperature improve as we go through the day because that wind will be calming down. But high temperatures are in the 30s for Monday. So going back to more of a northeastern scale, so showing you more of the region here for Monday, we're talking about highs in the 30s tomorrow, but a good amount of sunshine, a little bit of a windy start, but ending with calmer winds, temperatures pretty close to average, a little bit cooler than that for Monday. And then, of course, Tuesday, we are talking about that snow chance there. So that's what we're watching for Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, not looking too bad out there. That's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So good news there. Let's see if we have any questions over here. Looks like it's mostly just comments asking for me to get us a white Christmas. I wish I had that power. I do not. But I will say we're lucky in New England because nobody else in the country is even thinking about the possibility of a white Christmas. So if you're somebody who's traveling for the holidays, I can even show you a look at our let me find that, your outlook for the next several days, Christmas is going to be very, very warm across much of the country. We are the exception. So if you have any family traveling here, let's hope that we can get a little snow on the ground to add to the ambiance, the aesthetic, if you will, as this graphic slowly populates here. But it's going to be warming up a little bit for a lot of the country. We're just kind of stuck in this cool, I wouldn't even say it's cool. It's just seasonal for us here in New England for this time of year. So this graphic is taking its sweet time. All right, there we go. We're getting it. So look at that. That is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook for the rest of the country. This takes us through Christmas and actually through the rest of the year. So nobody else is talking about the potential for a white Christmas. So we're pretty lucky here in New England to have that. But if you're traveling elsewhere for the holidays, just know it's warm. And then as we go ahead and zoom in on New England, yeah, we're right in the middle, kind of just an average end to the year. Can't really complain about that. And then Tuesday, of course, we're just watching that snow chance for you there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about jumping on here. If we have any more questions, of course, please go ahead and ask them. Otherwise, it's just not a bad week. Just a little snow on Tuesday to pay attention to here, and it's pretty small amounts that we're monitoring, 1 to 3 inches again across the state. But like we said, weather is, it can be all over the place. So continue to stay on top of any updates. Anthony Carpino will be in later today with those updates to the forecast. But right now, like I said, here, let me go ahead and put that snow map back up here for you. Like I said, I think the totals right now are looking fairly solid. Now, of course, doesn't mean they can't change for sure. If anything, it just really depends on how far north that rain snow line wants to move. So that would impact totals for like the shoreline in the southeastern part of the state there. It's that timing that we're still kind of watching here. Somebody's asking, how does it look for New Year's temperature wise? That's a good question. We can talk about that. New Year's Eve is just outside of the 10-day forecast, but I can show you what it's looking like right now. Right now, we're kind of watching for temperatures. It looks like in the 30s. So next weekend, that's the last weekend of 2025. Can you believe that? But we are tracking actually a rain chance late Thursday night into Friday. It looks like it's mostly just rain right now. We're going to keep an eye on that system. Friday looks like we can see some showers, a couple of showers into next weekend as well. Next Sunday is the 28th. So that means next Monday is the 29th. Next Tuesday is the 30th. Temperatures right now in the low 30s. So that would be my my assumption as to what we're seeing into New Year's as well. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Temperatures just right around average, it looks like, for us here in New England. Like I said, for the rest of the country, it's a completely different story. They're talking about record high temperatures for Christmas and New Year's for much of the country. For us, just right along, right on average for us here. So that is a look at what we're tracking right now. And like I said, Anthony Carpino will be in later with all of those updates. Bob Maxon and Steve Glazier are here this week as well. So again, we appreciate you always tuning in for the latest. I am actually heading back later today to spend some time with family back in the Midwest. So I'll post the record high temperatures that we're going to be seeing where I'm from for Christmas. So I hope you're able to spend the holidays with people that you love and get there safely. Of course, if you have any travel planned on Tuesday, just know that we're tracking kind of a slushy mess there as we go through Tuesday. Otherwise, the rest of this week, primarily right now, looking pretty good across the area. So thank you again for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. If you have any more questions or any comments, concerns, whatever it might be, let us know. You can message us on social media. Of course, we're live on Facebook and YouTube right now. You can also email us, SHAREIT, SHAREIT at NBCConnecticut.com, especially for those reports for temperatures, for snowfall, rainfall, whatever it might be. We really appreciate it. We want to know what's happening in your area. So thank you again. Happy holidays. We'll continue to update you through this week, especially with that snow chance on Tuesday.